is I love showing people this, and I want to bring people to it, and I want them to feel the same things that I do and to show them and give them the same experience that I have. But I also sometimes I'm hesitant because I'm like, do I show people this? Is this something that I make well known? Is this something that I keep sacred and secret almost? And it's sometimes I feel like, I mean, as long as people are coming to it with respect and coming to it in the right way, I want to share that with them. But sometimes it's not always like that. I don't know. It's kind of two-sided. Try to see the place through the native's eyes and try to see it as this is where somebody lived. That every moment of their lives were in this canyon or in this valley or wherever, and they were trying to survive every day, and try to put yourself in their shoes. And if you can do that, you'll have so much more respect for the land and for where you are and who you're with, because it's not just some vacation where you're going to see something cool and it's like, oh cool, another rock art, another dwelling, another this. But this is somebody's home. This is where somebody struggled and thrived and went through hardships, and people died, and it was I mean, they had hard lives. I mean, probably really fulfilling, but it would not be easy to live out here. It is not a easy task. And so trying to think of that when you're visiting these sites gives you a different perspective and makes you look at it a different way, I think.
But I really always feel at home out here. And but it wasn't until just the last couple of years that I realized that I was schooled, like most Americans, to think that the wilderness is this wide open place, open to all, to expand into. I didn't realize how much of a colonial perspective I was just living in, the ways that I hiked out here. And the whole Bears Ears effort and the more recent kind of native advocacy that I think is emerging over the last couple of years is what I think the new native movement is, that we're here, we've always been here, we never went away, we're not a downtrodden, beaten down people, we have this strength which reaches back thousands of years in these landscapes, and we have something to offer. And even this land, though this land was taken from us, we will share it if you take that step towards us.
Well, because we're part of nature and we're not, I don't feel we should be dominating nature, but should be part of nature and therefore have respect for nature. And that means providing nature with the area, if you will, um, to be itself. And it's not our prerogative to destroy it and say, well, we want to change that climate here, and you're just going to have to make do with it. I'm sorry, plants. And it's been recognized since a long time that man's actions can uh, change the climate. Alexander von Humboldt was the first that I know about who observed that, and we're just not listening. And it's greed to be destroying nature for our benefit.
What
Where I'd been doing yoga was cool air and cool sand in a otherwise hot environment. You walk down into this kiva and it's cooler yet, but the air is perfectly still, and it's almost dark except for the light that's coming down through the opening that I just came down through. which provides a little bit of light, and of course, like a beam up to heaven. And I completed my yoga there, and I did some chants and ohms, and which is always the most spiritual point of the whole yoga session. But in this space, it was otherworldly, and it just felt like I was somewhere where I had never been before, which is actually a true statement. I had never been in a kiva by myself, soaking it in, and it was a memorable moment that will be with me forever. I grew up on the East Coast. The wild world was totally foreign to me until I took 2 car trips out west in my college and law school years and saw the grandeur of the West, and that really inspired me to make environmental law my calling. And it's what constantly recharges my batteries, is getting out here and enjoying this, because I spend an awful lot of my time behind a desk, staring at a computer screen, in court, arguing with lawyers who don't have the Earth's best interest in mind. Let's just put it that way. And it's a grueling job. It's dispiriting at times. We win some, but it's so important to get out here and remember why you're fighting that fight. And you come to a place like this, or other wild lands that our government has decided to protect, usually because of great citizen efforts. I mean, the government doesn't protect these lands by choice. Government's got oil and gas industry breathing down their back, and if you want to protect lands like this, it's got to be because the people care about this stuff and let their views be known. And God bless a group like Conservation Lands Foundation that helps organize these groups and provides them support and allows them to have an influence and impact on the decisions that are being made. Because without efforts like that, you wouldn't have places like this.
I worried a little bit in anticipation of the trip, and boy, I didn't need to worry at all. I don't know whether it's the energy of this amazing historic place we're in that gave me the strength, but actually I reached a point about a month or so before, when I said, I just felt the energy here that said to me, you can do this, you need to do this. And so the experience has been everything I had hoped for and way more. Yeah, well, I think when you look at U.S. history and you look at how we came in here with our culture blind to the culture of the people that were here first, and who arguably had ownership of this land that we just took from them, and to be able to come back and see their art on these walls, even 2,000 years ago for the archaic art, and to see the basket maker art, and to see the Pueblo art, and to see the symbols, and to hear the spirits speak to you. I had a vision meditating in one of the kivas of concentric circles, and I wondered why concentric circles when I'm seeing spirals. And then we got to a big man, and there was a concentric circle. And so I think the spirits are here, and the ancestors of the people that did this artwork. And it's like going to a museum. I mean, would we think about tearing down the Metropolitan Museum? Would we think about boring for oil in the middle of the Guggenheim? Of course not. And here there's tremendous cultural resources in addition to incredible natural beauty. You know, I wondered why would, of all the places that the indigenous people that were here 12,000 years ago and throughout that 12,000 years, why would they choose this really dry place to be? And the first day I was on this trip, that question was answered. They came here for the beauty. The beauty of this place is really special. And so, yes, I am above everything an environmentalist. It's very painful to live in the times we live in, to see us warming the planet and disregarding our natural resources, and but I think making sure that places like this continue to exist in their pristine, wild wilderness state, and having access like we have here with responsible guiding companies, this is extremely important for our civilization.
Oh no.
It's a dark blue.
Now see here, young man. What the hey? I'm packing again.
You know, you'll find it.
And again.
Yeah.
And again.
Yeah. Remember.
What the hey? Oh my gosh. Hey. I come back to canyons with dwellings because there's a spiritual connection that I feel. I can't explain it, but I've been doing this for over 10 years, and there's a draw. Once you get in these canyons and see where these people have lived thousands of years, and there's still structures, and it's just so spiritual, extremely resonates with me deeply. I don't know if I had a past life, but I keep coming back. The ancestral connection that they have, they want to keep it alive. They want to promote the beauty and the spiritual connection of the past. They want to explain to people it's not just about today where everything is money driven. You lose connection, I believe, in our culture where you just, you grow up, you get a job, you make money, this and that, and people don't really understand there's such a spiritual connection to the earth. And I love the fact that their generation, they're bringing awareness, they're true to their soul, their spirit, their past, and how many of us really stay true to our past? I carry a lot of my past with me, and I'm enhancing it because now I'm realizing there's such a connection to the earth, and that's why I do this.
And certainly when we were here and we got this wonderful initiation from two beautiful Navajo people, we had a really, I think, inspirational moment when they explained how important their home territory was. And they were on the verge of tears, just explaining it. I think they're young. I think there's a new kind of renaissance of what exactly being an Indian tribe is, what home territory is, what it means to be reconnected with Mother Earth, reconnected with their culture, reconnected with their language, and I think that's the exciting thing about these times. Our group realized the importance of that, and as a group we said we come with respect, we honor you as people, and we formally request your permission to come into your home territory in Grand Gulch and Bears Ears National Monument. I think, in Indian tribes, Native American communities have been fighting to overcome generations of oppression by Europeans, and I mean both benign and overt. Just being forced to be on reservations, the critical things to their life survival, their spirituality being taken away from them. And now they're beginning to realize what that is. And to have non-native people recognize that, recognize that they are connected to the land. This isn't just a place you visit. These aren't ruins in the hills. These are dwellings. They're people relocated. They didn't abandon these places. This is their science. This is their real history. This isn't oral tradition. This is the place where they derived the ability to survive in this environment and survive really, really well.
That's super fast. Like I'm working for it.
Yeah, I
And
know.
when you get the pressure built up, just go a little slower with the pumps because it'll only go to a certain pressure, and pumping it faster is just going to pump the water out of the straw.
So Dave, what's with the dirty girls? Please give us, is
Well-
it aggressive or what?
Yeah, there's a dirty boy I know named Ronan, and he inspired me to buy these things. And they are cool because they keep the debris out of your shoe. Not the sand, but the debris. That's cool. You don't want like a little rock in there. The big test will be when we start crossing streams to see whether things float up under them and get into your shoe.
Was there a particular reason you chose these patterns?
Yeah, I consulted my daughter, and I showed her the patterns, and she liked this one. And I usually consult her on fashion issues. She has good taste. These are called aggressives, or aggressive. You know, they have a name for all their patterns, and the pink version was called passive, but I got aggressive.
Does that match your personality?
Not necessarily, but it's, it's kind of a woodsy, kind of like, I see like trees, kind of, like a tree trunk and redwoods, kind of, I don't know. It's open to interpretation, kind of like petroglyphs.